Hey there friends, thank you for joining me for another Legally Armed America video. I'm of course Paul Glasgow. Before I get started, if there's somebody out there who is a subscriber of this channel and also you're signed up for my newsletter, if your name is Mariah, check your email. Remember we had a giveaway where we were giving away this Gideon Optic Rock a couple weeks ago, and it was specifically to a person who belonged to the Legally Armed America newsletter. You are still a recipient of that newsletter. We checked. We did a random drawing, and if your first name is Mariah, check your email. You got something you won that we really want to get out to you, so look for the email. It's going to be from paul@legallyarmedamerica.com. I emailed you again last week. Give us a holler. And of course, if any of you guys are looking for an optic from Gideon Optics, go to GideonOptics.com. Simply use my discount code FTATF and get 10% off whatever you want on their site. Great optics. So guys, let me ask you this. You've heard the phrase where people go, "You know we can see you, right?" That's something that keeps popping up in my head here recently when it comes to the FBI and the Secret Service regarding the Trump assassination attempt. I want to tell them, guys, you know we can see you, right? Perfect example is another, is it ignoring or is it deterring? You make the decision. We know that there were 10 rounds fired during the entire volley of shots. Now, I'm not saying in that statement who fired what. I'm telling you 10 rounds were fired. I don't know if it was 10 people, 1 person, 2 people, 3 people, or 4 people. But 10 rounds were definitely fired. In fact, this most recent video from the guy Dave from last week clearly proves that. You hear the first 3, then you hear the next 5 in pretty rapid succession. Then you hear number 9, and then after a pretty decent pause, you hear the last 10th shot. I'm going to play it one more time. So would you agree there were 10? Okay. Apparently, the Secret Service Director, Mr. Rowe, doesn't agree with us. Check this out.
At 6:11 p.m., the assailant's first volley of 3 shots was fired, and within 3 seconds, the former president's detail rushed the stage and covered former President Trump, shielding him with their own bodies. The 4 through 8 shots took place over the next several seconds. 15.5 seconds after the assailant's first shot, a Secret Service counter-sniper fired a single round that neutralized the assailant.
So why would they lie about this? You know they have more information than what we do. We're looking at the most simple, basic stuff from people who shot with a freaking cell phone, and we can determine that. In fact, all these other sound analysis, Mike Adams, Chris Mortensen, they've all shown in much greater detail than I do, and with a lot more specificity and a lot more intelligence, how many rounds were fired. In fact, they're telling you how far away they were, what if it was more than 1 gun, because the report's different. They're giving you all this additional information, but the one thing we all agree on, and we all know, everybody except the Secret Service, is that there were 10 shots fired. They still claim 9. I've said it before, if you have nothing to hide, why lie about it? Why not tell the truth? No, this is not a guess that there were 10 shots fired. This is an absolute fact, especially with the new video that we saw. So why act like that shot in between there is not there? And the shot they're talking about is the 9th shot. Because they're saying the first 3, boom, 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 were crooks, and then they're saying the next 5, bop, 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 that all those were crooks as well. I'm not saying that. That's what they're saying. So they automatically carve out that first 8, and then they say, what, 10 or 11 seconds later that the kill shot was taken? Okay, well, maybe it was. That last and final shot likely was the kill shot that ended the whole show. But that's not shot number 9. How can they not hear this shot? I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on that, because I am completely perplexed and do not understand why they're either ignoring that shot, or what makes them think that's not a shot, or why they're not claiming that shot. Is it because they claim they have 8 rounds of brass on top of the roof, and maybe they don't want to admit that somebody missed? Somebody. I'm not saying who, and I'm not saying who they were firing at. But do they not want to admit that another person fired a shot and that shot did not hit anybody? I'm also curious where these rounds went. Let's be honest here. They're talking about they've got the brass, right? Whatever. But these rounds went somewhere. We're not talking about caliber of weapon other than what they claim Crooks shot. Okay, so those rounds went somewhere. If those 8 rounds were in fact from Crooks, show me where they hit, or show me who they hit and where that person was, and show me in your hand the projectiles. I get that if they hit something super hard like a railing or something iron or whatever, that they could have just split apart. I get that. I mean, that's possible with the amount of velocity and the tumbling and all that good stuff. But you got projectiles somewhere. And another thing, if 8 rounds came from Crooks, they're saying that one nicked Trump's ear, Corey Compatore, let me get his name right, was hit, and the 2 other gentlemen were hit. So at the most, 4 people. That means that there were 4 rounds that did not hit anybody. Where did they go? Who did they hit? What did they hit? If they didn't hit anybody, they should have gone into the bleachers. We should be able to see that mark, right? I haven't seen any evidence of anything hitting the bleachers. It should be in the dirt, right? You think they just left that there? They didn't just leave that there. If these rounds went into the soil, they got those rounds out. But what about the ones that went supposedly towards Crooks? We've heard the argument that his head should not be intact as it is now. But not only that, if 2 shots went back that direction, and that's what some of the reports are. Some of the reports are that 9 shot, not the one they're claiming, number 9, our claim of number 9, that is a missed shot from somebody. Some people have said the Pennsylvania counter snipers, and some people have claimed other counter snipers, but not Secret Service. And then number 10 is what we're going to assume was the counter sniper from Secret Service. Where'd those rounds go? I recently dug up some drone footage from a guy called, his channel's name is The Spa Guy. Really good drone footage. Really good drone footage. In fact, I'll get more about where the rounds might have landed here in a second. This guy took a drone after everything, and he showed the path of what Crooks likely took, pointing out where his bicycle was parked, where he likely got up on top of the roof. We keep hearing a bunch of the arguments. Supposedly there's conspiracy about a ladder. After seeing this guy, the Spa Guy's video, I don't think there's much conspiracy about the ladder. I think he's right on the money. He actually shows that he likely climbed on top of this, 3 or 4 foot tall air conditioning unit, and then climbed from there on top of this little building, this little shed right next to the building. And then from the shed, he climbed up on top of the roof. From there, he had a clear path of just jumping up and down on various surfaces to get all the way to the AGR building facing Trump, where allegedly the shots were fired from. So it seems pretty reasonable to me that, again, this is the Spa Guy's video, great video by the way, and it does to me show a very reasonable path that was more than likely taken by Crooks. Now, the question I have is, where did these rounds go? They should have landed behind Crooks, right? If all they could see is his head, maybe they hit one of the shots might have hit that ridge, the one that missed. I don't see any bullet holes in the roof. I don't see any bullet holes in the neighboring roof, and I haven't seen anything in the ridge, because that would be a very obvious hole in that ridge. It wouldn't be something that skimmed off that ridge. It would be a hole through it, and I've not seen any of that. So my point is, where are the rounds? Where did every single round, where did 10 rounds go? I think these people owe it to us because they have created enough gray space and enough gray areas to where we don't trust them. No one trusts the Secret Service right now. Not many people trust the FBI, and that trust is waning by the moment, the more lies and the more cover-ups that come out about the FBI. So they created this sense of, you're lying to me, right? They did that. We didn't do that. We didn't set out to do this. We didn't create these memos internally that say that white people who celebrate Jesus and have guns are the greatest threat to America. We didn't create that narrative. They did. So with all these lies that continue to come out by them and all this rhetoric that they're trying to do as far as carrying the Democrats' water, we sit back and we don't trust them. So by doing that, they have created this massive smokescreen that we look at and go, I'm not buying it. You're lying to me. I feel like they owe it to us. These congressmen, senators out there that seem to be the only ones that can even get a remote answer, not a straight answer, even a remote answer from these people, should be asking that. Where is shot number 10? That's all I want to know at this point, right? Because you've lied about all the other questions that we've asked. But we have absolute proof that there was a 10th shot fired. Number 9 is the one they are not accounting for. And I want to know why. I want someone to listen to that audio and look me in the eye and go, that wasn't a gunshot, right? Make them listen to the same audio we are listening to and listen to them all the way through and then tell me you did not hear a gunshot at number 9. I will call them a damn liar to their face because I know damn well that is a gunshot. And they are doing nothing but creating more question marks whenever they lie about the super duper obvious. And I will say this, these people are notorious for diversionary tactics. Are they creating this controversy about shot number 9 and some of the other things that they won't answer straight because they're trying to distract us from something else? They're known for doing this. Watch out what the left hand is doing right now, because this looks like a purposeful attempt at them to create controversy where there's really not any.
God save the Queen, man.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
He's